The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
The aftermath of every social revolution brings about change. Cultural norms and landmarks shift as our minds and hearts expand beyond the familiar. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose in the land of the living. This is our time to renew, revive, and restore the hope lost to the busyness of life. This is our time to dig again and rebuild from the solid footing that holds. Welcome to The Foundation.
The Foundation. Foundation.
The Foundation with Heartgrats is brought to you by Alive, Burger King, the Cleveland Clinic, Commonwealth Bank, Click, Nassau Cruise Port, Print Masters, Ron's Electric Motors, and Wendy's.
Cause you're gonna need it. See everybody raving, see people misbehaving tonight. Are ready for some action, be whining to the beat. I be causing a commotion when I feel the soca heat. Now you hear me saying it, it's the DJ playing it. I want nobody getting in my way. So if you come to bet, hope you come to sweat. Cause in this place tonight we jumping with energy, plenty energy. So gather around when you hear the sound. Cause in this place tonight we jamming with energy, plenty energy. Don't come if you're tired, don't come if you're weak, don't come if you don't know. I'm letting you know we jamming with energy, plenty energy. Yes, I hope you've been doing your own. Get it?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant and your company, The Foundation. It is a beautiful Wednesday afternoon out here in the city of Nassau. July 16th, 2025. I want to say happy birthday to my brother, Stefan Grant. He is the big 4-0 today, and I pray that the Father continues to be able to bless him and pours into him with grace and with mercy. There's a couple of people I know who are celebrating a birthday. Guys, if you're out there and you're celebrating a birthday, I want to say happy birthday to you also in the month of July. I see that Goth just celebrated one, my brother, my cousin tomorrow, and my sister-in-law will be in a few days. So I'm going to say happy birthday to all of you guys who's celebrating a birthday in the month of July. It's a beautiful thing that you're doing that, man. Here, being able to do what we do. I just want to be able to remind you of 3 things. Kalik wants to let you know that Pop the Top with Kalik is back. It's bigger than ever. Kalik, the Bear of the Bahamas, is giving away $200,000 in cash and prizes. Cash and prizes. Purchase your favorite Kalik Bear and look under the cap. You can be a winner. Free Kalik Bear, free merch, and a cold hard cash can all be yours just for drinking. Kalik reminds you to drink responsibly, boy. Right? And also, the Ministry of Tourism and Aviation, Ministry of Tourism, Investment and Aviation invites you to vote now in the Caribbean's Journal 3rd Annual Bahamas Travel and Sustainability Award at Caribbean Journal's official website and ballot link. Support the best of the Bahamas before September 2nd. All right, you want to be able to do that, guys. Like I said, if you're celebrating a birthday during this particular time, I want to say happy birthday to you. I know that a lot of persons are kind of getting geared up for a holiday. They're geared up for travel, geared up to do these particular things. I don't know about you, but I don't know. I mean, I am eager, right? I really want to go to vacation. I got some things I want to be able to do. And, I want to say something. I want to put this out there. I want to do a specific show in South Carolina. I told you that, right? If you know the history of South Carolina, I've made a few calls to be able to identify those particular things as it relates to what was happening. And I'd like to go to South Carolina to do some stuff. Now, Ambassador Devin Roll is going down there to South Carolina. August 13th to the 15th, something like that. And I'd like to be able to go during that time, not just for his particular thing, but I have a concept in mind for a docu-series. And I want to take my my film crew down there and do some history, some digging. I want to be able to bring my guys, the historians, to be able to identify those particular things and really talk about this culture that exists in South Carolina. Now, I can't do this on Slack. Amen. I just want to be able to be very clear with you. I need your support. I need your support. So if you're interested in that, you're interested in doing some marketing, some advertisements with us, being able to do that and support us and bring this one-of-a-kind docuseries. That's what it is. It's going to be like a docuseries. We're going to put it together. It's going to be very nice, historical, and really being able to tie the two communities together. Yeah. Yeah. If you know, then you know. But if you don't know, then you will know as we do this. But I need support. So I'd like you guys to be able to reach out if you want to be able to do that. I have some persons that I want to call in South Carolina to be able to do that also. So we're just hoping for the absolute best, and we're believing that we can be able to get this thing done. Yeah, this is just not for entertainment purposes. I'd like to be able to provide some information of enlightenment, education, of exposure, and understanding about a relationship that existed far before we was here. So I'd love you guys to be able to give me a call if you're interested in that. I'd love you to be, well, how would I hear a little bit more about it? All right, give me a call, 827-0111, 827-0111. I could send you sort of a top paper concept to what our intents are, all right? And if you want to be able to go further, we can be able to take it from there. And I'd love to be able to hear more from you, all right? Let's pick up the Guardian newspaper. All the information's in there. U.S. to increase the tariffs to Caribbean exports. Trump says that the rate will increase by a little over 10%. The United States government intends to increase the tariff exports from the Caribbean, Africa. U.S. President Donald Trump said yesterday in recent days that Trump has been writing letters and foreign leaders informing them of the increased tariff rates. When asked about the letter yesterday, Trump says, "I'm very happy with the deals, the way that they are. Those are very right." This is Trump says. Those are very right. Those are very simple deals, whatever the percentages, and we base that in a lot of things, including the deficit of various things. You know, I think it's much faster way. Don't forget, we'll be releasing a letter soon talking about many countries that are much smaller where you're not going to do letters per se. You might do an individual letter. I don't know what in the world Trump is talking about. You may do an individual letter, but it's going to go very quickly, and the number will also be less. So I guess he's giving consideration for smaller countries, smaller nations, smaller demographics and populations to be able to do that, and I suppose that they will release that soon. This is what I keep trying to explain to you, that we're competent with everybody else. You like to be able to espouse this sort of a concept, an idea that our relationship is separate and apart, that it's unique. Yeah, it's not. I'm want to be very clear with you. It's not. For eyeing the PLP nod for Long Island, this is what Mitchell says. It says 4 people are vying for the Progressive Liberal Party's nomination in Long Island, according to the party's chairman, Fred Mitchell. Mitchell says that Renika Knowles, Avery Gomez, Peter Cartwright, and Senator Tyrell Young are looking for the nod. This is the general election. With the general election next year, Mitchell said that the PLP feels good about its chances and feels good about the chances in the constituency, which has been an F&M stronghold for decades. We're going to talk about that a little bit today. And the community-based therapy effective treatment for suicide prevention study finds. Read the paper, guys. Pick up the information. It's a great read. You can be able to find out more information about that. BGC touts power system upgrades On New Providence, when you flip over to the business section, Dr. Sands is in the paper again, talking about the new hospital will not tackle critical health issues facing Bahamians. And this is the former minister laments Rand Memorial and Princess Margaret Hospital remain neglected and underfunded. Non-communicable diseases, heart disease, cancer will not be addressed by this new facility. I have so much to say whenever I see Dr. Sands in the paper. I really do. And I always have to kind of just swallow those words because, there's kind of a touting of okay, so non-communicable diseases, heart disease, non-communicable diseases, heart disease, more specifically, cancer will not be addressed by this new facility. So build one. Yeah. Leave politics alone and go build a center that could be able to deal with heart disease and cater to 44 million people throughout the Caribbean with the expertise that you have. So go build one. I mean, I don't know. I mean, this is just my posture and my belief. Go build one. This is just me. I mean, this politics, one day out of 7, we have to recognize that, hey, maybe this ain't for me. My expertise lies and my passions lie where the experiences, the development, the training that I have, that's where it is. This is what I've been recognized for. I mean, come on. I have so much to say, but anyway, I swallow those words because who am I? Other than the girls, them sugar. Let's be very clear about that. Guys, listen, I want you to call me today. Let's talk about these particular things. I'm going to talk about the 4-eyeing the PLP nominations in Long Island, the shift in Long Island, where the sentiment's coming, indicating that the PLP may be a viable option. I've spoken to a few persons out of Long Island, more specifically, some of the big guys down there, and they said to me, Howard, for the first time, Long Island may be doing PLP. And we're going to push to be able to make sure that happens. So this is sort of the sentiment. And then there's this sort of a looming thing. They don't know what they'll do with Adrian Gibson. So they're looking for the Free National Movement to do the right thing with Adrian Gibson. They haven't done anything at the forefront yet. I heard this sort of a sentiment that came to the forefront as Hubert Ingram walked with Andre Rollins down there in Long Island. I stand to be corrected. And there was sort of a disdain that they felt disrespected in this kind of a space. This is not the first time that persons were introduced to Long Island. I think Dr. Sands took a stroll down there. I think when there was an opportunity for the possibility of being able to capture the leadership of the Free National Movement, we saw Dr. Minnis go down there, and he walked about with Branville McCartney. So Long Island has been introduced to a couple of people. Long Island, we trying to betroth you. We trying to find a suitor for you, Long Island. My God. Even though you got a man now, we're trying to find the proper suitor for you. And you keep rejecting everybody. So let's talk about that, guys. Let's take a commercial break, guys. When we get back, we can dive deeper into this on the other side. My producer walked away. Forgive me. My producer walked away. All right, so let me see if I can take a commercial. Let me see if I can take a telephone call before we could be able to get to the commercial. All right? The telephone call. Call on the line with the dive. Go ahead. 323-623-2, 325-4316, 325-425, dial anywhere from the Family of Violence, 242-300-5720. Hit me up, 422-4796. This is peculiar for me as I look at Long Island, and I know that the playing board of the electorate has shifted. If Long Island is showing the sentiments, and I told you that the PLP was extremely strategic, and a lot of people, oh my God, how much it got to be a PLP. I'm only looking at this, man. This is only smarts. This is only smarts. What the PLP has done is only smarts. And so when we look at these particular things, we take a time to be able to do that. Now, my producer is back. Let me see if I can take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back after this.
Foundation. Foundation.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Wendy's and Coca-Cola is giving away up to $25,000 of hot cash this summer. To enter, upgrade any premium combo from 1 through 12 to a medium or a large for your chance to win the grand prize of $10,000. Don't miss your chance to win big this summer. Visit your neighborhood Wendy's. Upgrade your favorite win hot cash. Rules and restrictions apply.
At Cleveland Clinic, care is everything. So when your primary purpose is to care for the world, you'd start with your community until you're accessible anywhere. You make complexities your specialties and put compassion before anything else, all to redefine what's possible. For everyone, everywhere. For every care in the world. Cleveland Clinic.
Nassau Cruise Port, Kalik and Ricardo Rum presents the Made in the Bahamas Festival. Join us on Saturday, July the 19th from 3 p.m. to 12 a.m. for a cultural affair hosted by Kenny and the Mighty Pencil. Get ready for live performances by Avi, Fan Sean, Ancient Man, and more. Plus music by the best DJs. Enjoy entertainment by the Royal Bahamas Police Force Band, a Junkanoo Rush Out, giveaways, and tasty Bahamian food. Admission is only $10, so don't miss out. Drink responsibly and celebrate proudly.
BK Nassau and Pepsi want to bring you upgrade your favorite combo and get a chance to win great prizes like staycations at Atlantis or Baha Mar, powerboat adventure excursions, or a Blue Lagoon dolphin encounter. You can also win a relaxing day at Sandy Toes or a VIP movie experience at Fusion. Upgrade your combo at any of Burger King Nassau's 7 locations and enter to win online at bk242.com. Win fun days with Pepsi and Burger King, where taste is king.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation. Foundation. The foundation. Foundation. The foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. 96.9 FM radio. I want you to hear something, right? For some reason, as they continue to be able to heap coals and shovel graveyard dirt over Dr. Minnis, he continues to shake it off. He continues to shake it off and finds himself kind of stretching and rising above the rubble to be able to make pronouncements. And even in his posture, I guess, show his strength and his defied nature to know that there is a leader and a call upon his life. And his defiance has placed him in this position where I'm watching him. And I listened to a newscast, and it started to talk about his position in Kalani. And he never says that he's not going to be an F&M. He never says that he's going independent. He never detaches himself from the organization. He acknowledges what they've done, but he is steadfast in being able to go forward. And so I want you to be able to hear a clip. Play that second clip that I sent you for me, right? I want you to be able to hear a clip for me. And this was from one of the news outlets. Listen to this.
Yeah, I was told that Kalani is going to be split, and I think it's a viable option. Kalani has a large voting bloc, and yes, I think splitting Kalani in two is a viable option. However they split it, I will win.
Member of the Free National Movement.
However they split it, I will win. Let's leave it as that. Capital I, will, capital W-I-L-L. Win. W-I-N. Thank you very much.
So I laughed so much at that this morning because I laughed so much because it is just like elusive. There's innuendos. There is neither to this conversation. There is no attachment to how we can do this. Hey, I can win it. I can win. And I want you to listen to one more. He started to talk about this sort of associated with the corruption that we're seeing in the country. And recognizing, I see a lot of persons are being able to take this. Also, the Minister of Social Affairs start to being able to talk about the fact that this starts at home. And with being able to say that this starts at home, there is sort of a view from a governmental standpoint, even we heard Wayne Monroe take on this position, to be able to do more introspection, to do more looking within, as opposed to being able to identify the issues that exist externally, right? So there is sort of a focus for persons to be able to take this chance to be able to peer within themselves. And the Prime Minister has taken that. The former Prime Minister has taken that particular position, and I think he ran out just a little bit. It felt a little bit Trump-esque. We always call him, we always see him seeking to be able to mirror what Trump has done. I want you to listen to this little clip. The first one, play the first one for me. I want you to listen to this little clip, and let's talk about it.
Are the immigrants the problem? The answer is no. We are the problem. We, the Bahamian people, are the problem. Agreed. We have laws. We have sufficient laws. We have adequate laws. It's just a matter of enforcement. If we enforce our laws, then we won't have the problem. So this is a beautiful country, and all we need to do is enforce our laws. The laws are there. We don't need to come to this parliament every darn week passing law after law which don't mean F.
If you watch the clip, you realize that he was just about to cuss. And I think it goes right back to what I said and what we continue to be able to say. Many persons have said we see this kind of a mirroring of our Prime Minister, now former Prime Minister, being able to reflect what we see coming out of North America, and more specifically out of the Trump administration, out of the United States of America, and the posture and position that Donald Trump has taken reflected in Hubert Alexander Minnis, and even being able to, he knows better than that. He knows better than that. We don't have that kind of a liberty in our society. Our base is not as liberal as America, even though Trump would like to be able to, bring those religious elements back. They are not who we are in terms of our faith. And so Minnis knows better than that. But he did it. And I don't know whether or not it's for a zinger. I don't know whether or not it's going to be able to place you in the position to, to rile your emotions and get a reaction out of you. I don't know whether or not it's in this kind of a position where you say, well, I agree with him. My God, I agree with him. Sometimes it is make you want cuss. Yeah, we know better than that. But you don't come like that. Yeah. Not like that. And so we see these particular things, and like I said, I think that he seeks to be able to rise, like the phoenix, and it may be appropriate coming from the Free National Movement, but he seeks to be able to rise like the phoenix. And every time that we think that he's dead, politically and otherwise, that we expect him to kind of mosey on to the sunset and be done with these particular things, he finds himself in the position fortified and speaking language that in one way or another shows us his strength. Give me a call, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, anywhere for the family violence, 242-300, 5720, hit me up, 422-4796. That's a caller? Call on the line, go ahead. Call on the line, go ahead. Listen, guys, hit me up, 422-4796 on the text, and let's see what's happening in those areas, all right? Yeah, but this is it. This is sort of the concept and idea that exists in these particular spaces. Minnis is in the news at the forefront, being able to talk about all that he is. He's showing some significant strength, while Pintard still's kind of. I don't like to take on this position to talk about Pintard. I really don't. Yeah, because people feel like you're a hater. You're just mad. You're hating on Pintard. You wouldn't give him a chance. But Pintard he's susceptible, viable, open to the seam as everybody else. To the same scrutiny as everyone else. And I always try to be able to scrutinize him and give constructive criticism with kitty gloves, because it's an exhausting thing that after I finish a 2-hour conversation that people wish to call me and talk for an hour, whilst I may have been wrong about saying this or that about print. It's an exhausting. I don't even answer the phone for certain people no more. It's just too much. It's too much that you wish to correct me. Sir, you should get your own show. It's an exhausting thing. It's an exhausting thing. Everyone has their view, their perspective, their position, and I think this is not competitive. It's not who's right or who's wrong. We recognize these particular things, we identify this, and we make a determination as to whether or not this is the path that we wish to choose to travel. And I look at Pintard, and I give him the benefit of the doubt. We said nothing about him. We waited for him to be able to roll out his persons, to roll out those particular persons. We reserved, talk to me, we reserved any scrutiny, any specifics, any specificity about the Free National Movement as it relates to what the potential are, unless and until we saw that team associated with what he did. And after he rolled out his first 17, my God, what we could do now is time for us to assessment about what we believe will be your position. Most recently, we would have been able to see Michael Pintard take on this kind of a strong position on immigration. I told you this. Everything is relentlessly reactive. And from an administration that, C. Allen likes to be able to talk about in such a way that it seems that it has substantial foresight. This is how he speaks of it. They have the foresight that no one has ever seen, and then they roll out the same people. They have this foresight that you would not imagine, and then it's the exact same thing, same concept. They have this kind of a foresight to be able to strategically put these things, and it's only from C. Allen. C. Allen, I know you hear. I know you could hear me. I know you could hear me, and I know you can call. I'm not going to fight you. However, they cannot have the foresight for the incorporation of technology, for the concept and idea of being able to fortify the orange economy, the green economy, the blue economy, the aquamarine economy, all these particular economies, technological aspects and all these things, fortify that. And they're still moving in this reactive nature of a form of Free National Movement. I don't understand. How? How, Sway? How? The forefront and speak to us about immigration as a result of the reaction that exists socially. Bananas! It is crazy that we're still watching you do what you say you wouldn't do. And so I always like I try to be walk gingerly when I do this, because, I don't wish to offend, but I wish to alert. This is bananas. And I don't know if we're getting anywhere like this. Long Island said they're getting PLP. You're not sure about those seats. You can lose North Abaco, which was supposed to be able to be a constituency that you could be able to get for the Free National Movement, especially if Papa Walker and them. South Abaco gone. This is the information I'm receiving. Okay? I understand there's a particular candidate that's going to be presenting himself for North Eleuthera that may knock Ricky Markey off the mark. And I thought Ricky was a sure win. Right? I'm not hearing anything to say that Clay is not going to win. So I still hear this kind of a support for Clay. I'm looking at these areas and I'm saying, where does the Free National Movement have a foothold? Where? And St. Anne's cannot be a conversation. It cannot be that you say, well, we got St. Anne's. Okay. So Adrian White will be in the House of Assembly by himself. What are you doing? Him and Kwesi, because I think East Grand Bahama's covered. Let's talk about these things and have a very clear conversation. Guys, quick break. Going to be right back after this.
Foundation.
Nassau Cruiseport Click and Ricardo Rum presents the Made in the Bahamas Festival. Join us on Saturday, July the 19th from 3 p.m. to 12 a.m. for a cultural affair hosted by Kenny and the Mighty Pencil. Get ready for live performances by Avi, Fan Sean, Ancient Man, and more. Plus music by the best DJs. Enjoy entertainment by the Royal Bahamas Police Band, a Junkanoo Rush Out, giveaways, and tasty Bahamian food. Admission is only $10, so don't miss out. Drink responsibly and celebrate proudly.
As a local Bahamian bank, we believe that Bahamian businesses are the backbone of our society. At Fidelity, we proudly fuel the dreams of our local entrepreneurs looking to expand. Ready to grow your business? Apply for a Fidelity commercial loan today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Foundation.
All right, quick before the break, let me take a telephone call. Call on the line. Go ahead.
Hey, what are you doing?
Hey, what's up, Anton?
Well, I right. Hey, trust me, Howard.
Mm-hmm.
What you described before you went to break regarding Penton, I feel exactly the way Howard. Honest to God, I don't know that because you have to wear multiple caps, whether you're the host or whether you're calling in. But one thing you should always be is honest and maintain your integrity in whatever you say and whatever you do, right? Mm-hmm. Am I right, Howard?
Absolutely.
And you don't want to kill the chances in whatever way you can, or influence in whatever way you can, before the person has an opportunity to do anything. But Howard, once you step onto the floor and you announce yourself as the opposition, you are under scrutiny from day one, from that moment. We shouldn't even have to be waiting for you to name your candidates before we could begin to dissect you for your progressiveness or for your failures. Am I correct, Howard?
But I look at this and I try to give him the benefit of the doubt. If we're looking for youth, he is younger than the prime minister that we have right now. So therefore, you don't want to be seen to go against quote unquote youth, right? And then you try to do your best. You try to give them the benefit of the doubt. You try to be able to look at this new concept and idea. You wait in anticipation to see what he's going to roll out. And then you look at this and say, hold on, this is the same old thing. Oh, this is still reactive. Oh, how can you be different?
And guess what, Howard? Me, as strong a PLP as I am, as much as I sacrifice for the PLP, I took that position as well because I like to compete against something that's worthy to compete against. I don't like to compete against something that's not even worth me backing my eye at or looking back at a second time. I want to compete against something that's worthy and viable. But today, as it stands, you bringing back incompetent people. You bringing back people with no credibility. You bringing back people who lack integrity in their public lives. Who can support that, Howard? That's the equivalent of insanity. You agree with me, Howard? Am I making any sense?
I hear you. I'm not going to fight you at all. I'm not going to fight you.
I ain't trying to put you in the hot seat today, Howard. Right? No. Let me just get it out from the start.
I didn't tell you. I ain't going to call the people incompetent, right?
Hey, Howard.
Go ahead.
He brought back people who are incompetent. They were literally incompetent. They represent the word, if you look in the Webster or Oxford dictionary, they represent incompetence in what they bought and have the nerve to talk about bringing back experience. Yeah, you want to bring back experience, but experience who are competent, experience who were successful, experience who did something while they were in the jail, right? And only one or two of them fit that bill. But then you have a mixed bag of some who may be incompetent, right? And have little integrity. Then you have some who may be competent but lack integrity and credibility. You understand what I'm saying, Howard?
I hear what you're saying.
But let me get on quickly to what I want to say, Howard, in 1 minute, 2 minutes, please. Look, the politicians have forced Bahamians to become disillusioned. You hear what you're saying, Dr. San said? He was the Minister of Health. He was the Minister of Health. The Prime Minister former was the Minister of Health. The Bahamians, look, Howard, we are such a small economy, right? With such a small window to get things right. When we do it the first time, we have to knock it out the park. You hear me, Howard?
Mm-hmm.
I've been saying this for about 20 years. We've been getting it wrong with BPL, right? Buying these little engines from what's still in.
And keep buying it.
Be spending $100 million of the people's money and can't even accommodate the cheaper fuel oil, right? Can't even do what is necessary to reduce the cost of electricity. We have to knock it out the park. When we spend that money on that, we didn't knock it out the park. We could have done a better job by giving the Bahamian people what we really need. Now look, when we get that specialized facility out there, what happens at PMH, Howard, as a result of moving all of those services that demand lots of hospital space, hospital beds? What happens when we move into that new facility out west, Howard? What does that do for PMH, Howard?
But it alleviates it, but according to Dr. Sands, it won't be able to tackle critical health issues facing the Bahamas.
Up a lot of bed space, a lot of critical space, a lot of critical mass that is needed. The government can then plan that space out more adequately to address the severe matters that can't be accommodated right now because people got to be out in the hallways waiting for service.
Anton, your time done is 1 o'clock. I got to take this commercial break, Anton. Let's see if we can be able to finish this up on the other side and be able to get to this. All right?
No problem.
All right, guys, let's take this quick commercial break and get to news and be right back after this.
The foundation.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas. GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Foundation. Foundation.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Granite and Company, the foundation. Give me a call if you want to be able to be a part of the conversation. I'd love you to do so. 323-6232, 431-632-5429. Anywhere from the family violence, 242-300-5720. Hit me up, 422-4796. We were talking a little about this sort of a concept and idea and being able to navigate in this space of the space that I sit in is a space that observes and dissects. Some people would call it scrutiny. Sometimes it's scrutiny, but it's observation and dissecting to be able to find the SWOT analysis that exists within, to find the strengths, to find the weaknesses, to find the opportunities, to find the threats in the proposals that's presented for the Bahamian people. That's how I see this job that I have, this responsibility that I have. That you come to the forefront, we identify those things, and then we contrast it to the objective of where the country is going. And so most times leaders are stretched out on the proverbial altar to identify whether or not these concepts that they have birthed, that has come through them by their organization or otherwise, that has come through them and they've presented, we scrutinize that. We identify it to find out whether or not it's strong, where it's weak, or where the weakness exists. Yeah, we do that. And we do that. We stretch it out and we look at it. And for the most part, we've been looking at, for me, for Howard Grant, I don't know about other persons, I really tried so hard to, and more specifically for Michael Pintard, not necessarily for the Free National Movement or anything, for Michael Pintard. For Michael Pintard, there is a soft spot in my heart for Michael Pintard. The expectation of an underdog who would have gone through so much to find himself in a position of victory that has beaten a significantly wealthy and connected person to find himself as leader of the Free National Movement. There is a glimmer of hope that the potential that he could be able to bring to the forefront would be rich, would be off the beaten path, and we could be able to see rejuvenation in his organization, the Free National Movement, as a result of something that he's brought to the forefront. And so you give him time, and you give him grace, and you give him these particular things, but there's relentless pontification, and there is perpetual explanation as to why this and why that, and there isn't enough vision for Howard Grant. For me. Then who am I? I ain't nobody. I'm not nobody. All right? But if you see it the same way that I do, or maybe you didn't, maybe you couldn't put a finger on it, well, let me help you articulate it. I've done this, and the entire time I've spoken, in my view, the entire time I feel like I had on these kind of, let's be easy with Mike. Mike has to take his time and so forth. He's working 3-man position. And at some point, you got to recognize that delegation is required. At some point, you got to recognize that delegation is required for you to be able to tell men to get to their jobs. At some point, you're going to have to put people in certain positions and tasks and hold them to account and say, I expect you to produce. At some point, you're going to have to stop answering where the chairman's responsibility is, who continues to espouse that he's the CEO of the Free National Movement. At some point, there cannot be an expectation that when I see Michael Pintard, this is Howard, and this is the time that we're in, this is the season that we're in. When I see Michael Pintard, I expect nothing but vision to pour out of him. That's it. Not excuses, not deflection, not a red herring. I know you not. I expect vision to pour out of the man. That's all I want. All I want. We recognize the system that exists right now. The Free National Movement is concerned about these particular things, and we've worked on this for a very long time. Acknowledge the past. We know that the former administrations and the Free National Movement had opportunities, had significant opportunities to be able to tackle this, but we missed the mark. However, at this particular juncture, with the vision that we have and the team that we have assembled, we recognize that this is what needs to be done. Boom, 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 boom. And we have a determination, a heart, a conviction to be able to get these things done. We ask that you join us every single time. That's all I want to hear from you every single time. We ask that you join us. This is the vision. This is the concept. This is the path. Join us. That's it. All this, well, they didn't do this, and I ain't got no time for that. I ain't got no time for that. You do not have, and for all intents and purposes of being able to identify these particular things, you do not have the finances that the PLP has at this particular time. Your donors may. I think you're laying so heavy on the donors with the expectation that the donors provide you with these particular things, and then you fall short because it didn't come through when you wanted to come through. Now you're sitting in this kind of a gulf, this lull, and you don't see things happening. Right? So what can you beat the PLP with? You can't beat them with money. You have to beat them with vision. You can't beat the PLP with money, not at this particular time. Not until you are fortified, not until you top up, not until your account say ping-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. You can't do it. So now you've got to beat them with words. Words that actually cast a vision in the minds of the people that says, oh my God, this got to be it. And you got to do what Hubert Ingram said to do in terms of inviting people to join the Free National Movement. None of this is happening. This is the same old 1997 politics. This is an old man's game. That's what you're playing. You ain't changed no rules of the game. You're doing the same thing that the fellas did in 19. I'm telling you, I'm watching you. This is reminiscent of 1997. We've seen this before. Who gave you this playbook? And as I look at this, I say, I don't know whether or not you guys are ready for the victory that you continue to be able to envision. And you can be, but there has to be a drastic shift in language. You can be, but there has to be something that is so drastic in your shift that it actually, listen, the fellas on social media who has 200 and 300,000 followers, 100 and something million and all, however much followers these people have. Many of them don't even have money. They just had a thing, a concept, an idea, and it was futuristic. It doesn't always have to include money. You have the volunteers, you have the support, now you just need the vision to fortify that and cast the vision. You have every platform. You don't need no traditional media. You have every platform to transform this country. But I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. And so let's get to the cussing. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Anywhere from the Family of Violence, 242-300. 5720, hit me at 422-4796. If Long Island, your anchor, is saying to you that there is consideration to go in a different direction, you have to consider there's something that's going on wrong. There's something that went wrong. Call on the line, go ahead.
Howard Grant.
What's up?
Good afternoon, sir.
What you saying,
I
Julian?
know this is your show. I'm not commenting on how long you let people talk, and that's not. It's your show. But give me 3 minutes, please.
Go ahead, Julian.
One, the F&M to the PLP right now is like two churches that is building a new edifice. One church has up the drawing and the little building, while the other church, only the pastor don't know how the building will look. The people are going to give in to what they can see. I can see where my money goes. That's how my money can look when it's finished. Only the pastor one has this vision of how this cathedral can look. That's the PLP and the F&M. The people could see where the PLP going. The people could see what the PLP doing. what the F&M doing only is in Pintard mind. Only Pintard can see where the F&M going. That's number one. Number two, the strategists of the PLP got to be the best. I say that to say, in Fort Charlotte, they get the F&M running wild and wild, and they're like, they're getting crazy. In Long Island, they get the F&M running wild while they're getting crazy. When the PLP lick them out with the rest
I don't know if the strategist is the best. I don't know if they're the best. I think that they're I think that they're outsmarting the competition.
See, they get the office, they get the F&M now worrying with Fort Charlotte, with Sabas. They get the F&M with them 4 people up there, right? So the F&M lost now. They get them in the days. Number 3, in 2002, when the PLP won, they had a strong third party in the CDR. In 2000, what it was, 12, when the F&M, when the PLP won, they had a strong third party in the poison of the DNA. In 2021, when the F&M won, they now gonna have this in 2026 now. They're gonna have a strong third party in the COI. Once there's a strong third party, the F&M cannot beat the PLP because the PLP can vote PLP. They can get 1 or 2 straight away, but when they spread the opposition with the third, fourth, and the F&M, the PLP will beat them for every time. Check the record on it.
I don't disagree with you. I don't
Check
know.
the record. Once you have a strong third party, like the COI making grousing some grass, they're going to take people away from the F&M. They may take 1 or 2 PLPs,
I don't disagree with you.
but they're going to split the opposition. And if I was Mr. Davis, I would have given the COI a couple of dollars to keep them alive.
That's a lot what you did just now.
Yes, sir.
That's a lot. You finished now? I guess you are. Next call on the line, go ahead.
Hey, Howard.
Hey, what's up, Anton? You're back.
I'm back with you. I can finish up quickly.
Okay, go ahead.
The last caller. You can hear me clearly, Howard?
Yeah. Espousing these people things. Let's finish our point and then let's move forward.
No,
Go
I'm
ahead.
not going to espouse. All I want to say is one thing about what the last caller said. And they were right about how Bahamians normally vote, right? And how the splitting of the votes takes place, which we have already been discussing on your show for the last year or two, right? However, where they are wrong is this election coming up, Howard, this is a different one. Bahamians are tired on both sides of the fence, Howard. Bahamians aren't just going to walk away from the F&M. PLP voters are tired also. And we have a task on our own hands to keep our own party supporters who bring us through in victory happy and satisfied. About 2-3 years or more, Howard?
Yeah.
It remains true today. That's the last part with the last caller. Let me finish my point quickly. Then Howard. On your break, right? They went back to the same old garbage that me and you were talking about on the first half of your show, Howard. Look, man, the PLP just pronounced through the Minister of National Security at the Office of the Prime Minister that they have repatriated more Bahamians than any government in the history of the Bahamas.
13,000. 13,000, yeah.
13,000. The F&M still confounded us how that happened. They thinking it was just air. Then it was, I revealed on your show yesterday, it was air and sea. Or when I spoke with Burley on Chicago show, air and sea. 13,000, Howard. And they still have the nerve to try to complain when that's a record that demonstrates you were rooting out. You were taking serious rooting out the challenge of illegal migration in your country. When you can set a record that supersedes all administrations, including the ones where Loftus Roker, the Honorable, God rest his soul, served as the Minister of Immigration, including the times when he served our... Isn't that something to give honor to the Progressive Labour Party for, Howard?
Yeah, that's commendable.
Do you think anything good could come out of the F&M's mouth regarding the PLP, except where they're trying to create behemoth people.
But that ain't their responsibility. That ain't their responsibility to cheerlead for the PLP. It
ain't cheerlead, you know, Howard. You know what, Howard? The behemoth people looking for genuine and honest people, Howard. You can present your plan, like you've been discussing, like me and you discussed. Present your plan, but also at the same time be honest about what is happening. That is where you capture the behemoth's heart. That is where you get influence and believability, Howard. Not by trying to dumb down Bahamians with nonsense. Anyway, Howard, look here. Me and you spoke about Long Island, Howard. I can end with this right here. This ties back into what I said to you about what the last caller was discussing. Family Islanders have always had it proper. You don't go into no family island, as you very well know. Coming from West End and Grand Bahama, you understand how family islanders operate. Am I not correct, Howard?
Yes.
Do you go into any family island and dictate to them who you want to send an outsider or send someone who they don't respect or don't recognize with, or who won't been in the in the battle with them on the battlefield?
No,
Can you do that, Howard?
No, you can't do that.
And guess what? The rest of the country is catching up with that mentality. The rest of the country. And so right now, Howard, right now is perhaps the best time in recent history for the PLP to secure that seat. Same thing happening in Kalani. Same thing happening in Kalani, Howard. Right now is the best time since the former Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, Minister Wisdom. Since he held that seat when it was Delaport, right now is the best time for the PLP to get it right and win that seat, Howard, because of the splitting of votes that's going to take place and on Long Island, because of all the activity that the PLP is doing down there to support the infrastructural development, the capital development on Long Island. Howard, listen, this election is going to be a different one. The FNM just complaining and bickering. Nobody on that run. Nobody on that run, because you just held the seat and you didn't do much of what you complaining about when you had the power. Now you see people doing it, and all you could do is try and pull down. My brother, PLP all the way. We can win this next election, hands down. God bless you, Howard.
Well, bye, Anton. Punctuate your conversations like that, but I'm not gonna fight you. I want to say this, and then I can take a break. I see your telephone calls lit up, right? But I want to say this. The next election is going to be a little different. The COI is going to split strategic votes in particular areas, and they will take away from the Free National Movement, only because we know where the loyalty lies. Persons who voted for PLP, they either don't vote or they come out and they vote. And for the most part, they say, I ain't gonna vote. And then for the last minute, they say they can vote, right? And so PLP always has an edge, even when it's a low voter turnout. There's some people who are disgruntled with their organizations and they don't show up at all, right? Or they vote against their organization. For the most part, we've seen this out of the Free National Movement. A lot of persons who are Free National Movement members, I don't know whether or not this is because of that democratic liberal spirit that exists on them, but they would vote Free National Movement and then they would vote independent, or they would vote Free National. For the most part, they won't necessarily vote PLP, but they'll vote contrary to their organization, or don't vote at all if they're disgruntled with their organization. But we don't necessarily see that happening with the PLP. And as a result of that, you're going to have a problem in North Abaco with Kai Mills. I didn't tell you this. You're going to have a problem in Kalani with Dr. Minnis. I didn't tell you this. All right? You're going to have a problem in Pine Ridge with, and this is for the Free National Movement. You're going to have a problem in Pine Ridge with Frederick McAlpine, right? I didn't tell you this, right? And now, because of this disgruntled nature of persons in Long Island and the potential mistreating and mishandling of Adrian Gibson by the Free National Movement, you may have a problem in Long Island. This is definitely an election to watch. This is an election to watch. And I think all of us should be involved. I don't hear more people talking about go out and get registered to vote, get yourself prepared to vote, vote F&M or vote, the PLP is telling you every day. But I don't hear it enough coming to the forefront about these particular things. I don't know if they think they got this bunch of time, but time is on my side. You ever watch Fallen with Denzel? It's not on your side. Let's take a quick commercial break, guys. We'll be right back after this.
The Foundation. The Foundation with Howard Grant. We'll be back right after this.
The Foundation. The Foundation.
Great Commissions Ministries is God's storehouse. They have been caring for the poor, homeless, and hurting since 1987. You are invited to support their Stop and Drop program by dropping off some food items in their barrels and some cash in their bottles. You can donate an offering each month or pay your tithes online to Great Commissions through the Givelify or Suncash apps. Help them to shelter the homeless, feed the hungry, and spread the gospel of Christ. Volunteer your service and support the Lift to Give program. Call Great Commission Ministries, God's Storehouse at 325-5801 for further information or stop by the office on Wolf Road. Be blessed.
When your hands are too full, life is just too uncomplicated. Go faster, safer, greener with the digital way to pay. With Tap to Pay, it's as easy as a gentle touch. No more headaches. Say hello to convenience. The future of pay is digital with options like credit cards, debit cards, online banking, and digital wallets. Make every experience unforgettable. Embrace the ease of digital payments today.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Hey kids, it's back. The Jeff Rogers Summer Basketball Camp, July 28th to August 8th at the Kendall Isaacs Gym. Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. for boys and girls, 5 to 18. Pair and learn from the NBA superstars past and present, including our very own Buddy Hield of the Golden State Warriors, Klay Thompson of the Dallas Mavericks, former Laker great Michael Sweet Bells Thompson, another great among the point guards back in the day, Muggsy Bogues, and many others. Application forms now at the Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists, Tonic Williams, Darling Highway. Call 341-4021 or check the website, jeffrogersbasketballcamp.com. This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Foundation.
I'm back, guys. Let's get straight to the lines. The lines are open. 323-623-232, 325-431-632-4259. Anywhere for the family violence, 220. Hit me up, 422-4796. Call on the line. Go ahead.
Good day, Howard. Good day to all your listeners. Papa here.
Hey, what's up, Papa?
Rachel holding on.
Talk to me.
Howard, I believe when Anton was speaking, he said how much the government done deported. But if you check the tape or you listen back tonight, Anton, you'll see where you say over 13,000 Bahamians. I think you mean 13,000 aliens.
Yeah, illegal immigrants.
Immigrants, I should say.
Yeah.
Howard, I believe, like, the PLP, it sounds like they banking on the economy. And I know the economy, it normally plays a role everywhere in countries, especially around election time. But I hope they don't be naive or be not keeping in mind immigrants, the immigration problem, and corruption. I'll put that with crime. I think they need to bank. I think they need to not just bank on the economy because they're doing some things. No, I'd love to maybe give them a B+, because maybe some things ain't tripling down like how it could triple down. I guess the investors, they're making a lot of money. Some people making money, but I believe we could We could spread this thing on the bread. We could spread it around a little better than what we're doing. You feel me, Howard? Howard?
Yeah, the
I think we could do a better job of tripling down whatsoever happening in this country. So
You're saying the butter a little lumpy. You got to be able to smooth it out better than this.
yes, and another thing the PLP have to think about too is the disgruntled PLPs. I call them the PLPs who this PLP administration, the PLPs who they don't like. They just call them the greedy PLPs. I call them disgruntled, and the PLPs who Brave Davis them don't like. They need to work on that. Then you could be sure, like, you feel with a good prayer. Michael Pintard, I kind of should, not sorry, sympathize or whatever. I don't know what word to use, but I feel like he deserves an opportunity. No one ma born a child here in the Bahamas what could be prime minister. They say Brave Davis wouldn't and never be prime minister also.
Yeah.
And he's prime minister today. But with Michael Pintard, then what I think they need to do, I kind of agree with you when you say maybe. I think I hear you say the F&M don't have the kind of money or the funds leading into this next election. Like,
Not yet. I don't see them having the funds just yet.
I in agreement with you, not yet, right? Because I guess if they do more, they could get it. But when you are man to man, pound for pound, when you compare it right now, I'll have to agree. But whosoever believes like the F&M financially mightn't be strong, like the PLP right now being in government and all these other big shots who with them and all this stuff, man. And not forgetting who we dealing with. Who Brave Davis, he know how to campaign. Brave Davis know how to deal with people when it comes down to trying to get their support.
Yeah.
And don't sleep on the PLP because the PLP know how to campaign. But like I telling you with Michael Pintard, see, I believe Michael Pintard could beat the PLP with all the financial to do and all that. And all that I point out to you with Brave Davis, with one word, unity. Unity. If they, with a good prayer, Michael Pintard, the Free National Movement, unity. You see Dr. Minnis, he'll be like Nikki Haley, or I think that's her name, who would put Donald Trump and supported Donald Trump, although she said what she had to say. That's how Dr. Minnis will have to be inside the Free National. Whosoever don't like one another or whatsoever, you put that on the side. And you come together, get Hubert Ingram, Brent Simonette, and everybody to come together. And you all, like I say, with a good prayer, you all talk to the Bahamian people, pray out to the Bahamian people. All the failures or whatsoever you think the PLP should do what they promised in the blueprint.
If you know what that good prayer is, they got to call you to be the chaplain.
No, I do it for free. I ain't gonna pray
Praise
for them,
God.
but I tell them pray for themselves. I mean, I's a PLP supporter, but I's a nationalist. I point out some people, I hear you saying, but some people might have the view like, it's finished for Michael Pintard. He's a newcomer. He's an underdog and all that.
I don't think it finished for him. I like what you said with unity.
And they done start campaigning and all that. And we know where they can call election and all of that. I think people power is stronger than any amount of money Brave Davis them could spend $1 billion. Look here, you don't think that woman for the Democrat who was running for president, they spent all, I think they still owe people money. They spent millions of dollars.
Kamala.
Harris. And Donald Trump, people power. You understand? So does the Bahamian people feel like immigration is a serious problem, and PLPs or whatever. And like I say, they need the coalition thing. The leader of the Free National, Michael Pintard, need to think about joining up. Let the coalition, you all do something together. Get Dr. Minnis, Brent Simonette, Hubert Ingram, like I say, and speak out to the Bahamian people. Talk to the Bahamian people and let them know what you all have to offer.
I like this, Papa. I appreciate your telephone call, Papa. Thank you so much. Right? I can say this. I like what Papa said. A fragmented Free National Movement could never win the next general election. It can't happen. As I talk about vision, I love the fact that Papa came out and talked about unity. I like this kind of a concept and idea of being able to incorporate the COI. We've seen it in the past where persons were approached and say, why don't you come into the fold, right? But I don't even know if the Free National Movement is thinking like that, because the BDM, which is Cassius's former organization, was formed. Cassius folded that up, and also Orinthia was a part of the DNA. They fold those two up and join the Free National Movement, right? And what happened? Bang! Cassius is out, right? So if Cassius is out and you leave him out there floating, I don't know whether or not y'all discuss with him being able to identify something else. Maybe you give him Angliston. Who knows? I don't know. But I'm simply saying, if you're going to look at something else, then that's great. But if you leave Cassius out there, to the elements, is possibly being able to reemerge and put his organization. Now he got fuel and fire behind him. He could get at least 200 people to be able to follow behind him. You understand what I'm saying? And so the organization has to think about this concept and idea of unity. If they don't think about unity, they leaving Dr. Minnis out there to float in the wind. That's a problem. Michael Pine out there to float in the wind. That's a problem. Kai Mills already then wrapped up in the COI, right? So if you can't get Kai Mills, get somebody in the COI. See if you could absorb them in the organization. You have to figure this out, because a fragmented free national movement could never beat the PLP, not in this state. It can't win. You have to be united in your position. You have to be united in your vision. You have to be united in your language. Listen to me, let me tell you something. The PLP is masters at campaigning, masters. And if you have too much pride to be able to identify them and study your opponents, then that's on you. That's all the way on you. But even if you go by the 48 laws of power, even if you identify those particular things with the desire to acquire power, you have to study your opponent. The PLP is the best at doing this. Every single one of them, last election, the election before that, all the time, they come out and speak with one language. One language. Everybody on the same page. Everybody on the same page. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how it ain't hard, but I don't know how they could get grown men and women who have their own minds, concepts, ideas, and vision for their various constituencies on one page. That doesn't necessarily happen in the Free National Movement. I haven't seen it so far. The last time I saw this kind of a unified position in the Free National Movement, they lost. This is in 2002. You remember that? 2002 when Hubert Ingram had his face on every poll in the Bahamas. You remember that? When I walk out in 8 Mile Rock, I say, Jesus, I don't even know who running in this constituency. All I could see is Hubert Ingram face. You forget that, eh? Y'all forget that? I said, what it says. And then you look on the poll, you would see it was Perry Christie and Mother Pratt during that particular time. And Hubert Ingram. These are the only 3 people that I remember in 8 Mile Rock seeing on all the polls. And it didn't work out well for the Free National Movement. Let's take a telephone call. Caller, go ahead. Caller, go ahead.
Good afternoon.
Hi.
I'm calling relative to, I guess I have a question as it relates to the numbers and the figures that administrations in the present and in the past have put out, whether these numbers are audited, or can we, I guess, the Bahamian people rely on the data that they provide us? I guess not knowing whether they would have obscured these numbers or how they have collected this data and whether they have...
You're talking about the 13,000 persons who have been migrated out of the country, repatriated out of the country. The Department of Statistics should be able to have that information, and also the Department of Immigration should be able to give us those statistics.
Okay, wonderful. My next thing to that would be, I don't know whether I just have not been aware or there have not been much information disseminated in the media over the last several years in the current administration where there have been repatriations, but I've just been of the assumption that we have not been hearing about it as much as I have heard about it being reported before in the past. And to one of the previous callers' note, it's commendable if it actually is 13,000 repatriations. That is commendable, but I guess at the same time, it's a milestone for the country in comparison to previous administrations over the years. Perhaps now, because we're in a different era, a different time. Haiti's going through their crisis. We would automatically have an increase, severe increase in the influx of illegal immigrants, in whichever way that they come. So perhaps it's, yay, you've done a great job, great, but because one of the previous callers mentioned, okay, even Loftus Roker, Randall McCartney, and previous ministers of immigration, they've never achieved this. But at the same time, I just wanted to, I guess, stick a pin there because it may not have been as much as it's evident. So, no, that's the only point I wanted to make.
I'll get those statistics and we're going to talk about that on Friday, God Spare Our Lives. So I'll get those statistics. I'll reach out to immigration to identify that, we can be able to scrutinize it as to whether or not it is accurate or whether or not this is sort of something that they just pull out their hat.
Right, and make a comparison, So wonderful. Well, thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate your telephone call. Let me take the next telephone call. Call on the line. Go ahead.
Good day, son. How are you?
I'm good, man. What's happening?
Okay. Nice show.
I appreciate you.
Okay. I'm just trying to confirm the figure the security mentioned about the repatriation over the last, I think it was, 4 years.
Yeah. I'm going to call the Department of Immigration and the Department of Statistics to be able to get those accurate numbers. I know that he has said it, and it has become a staple for a great deal of people. So I'll get that information, and then we can be able to talk about that on Friday, God Spare Our Lives.
Yeah, because what I wanted to reiterate, if we break the 13 down to 12,000 over a 4-year period, that's 3,000 a year. And if you break that down to a month, that's 250 every month. Mm-hmm. So that figure can't, I don't think we had no apprehensions by the law enforcement agencies at sea for a very long time.
Mm.
So I don't think that figure is correct.
Okay. The minister has said it, and he said it from a perched position. And so we take his word, but we will definitely do the requisite investigation to ensure that it's accurate, and then I'll bring it to you and say exactly what's what.
And the last thing, if they're repatriated, where would they be repatriated from? The detention center, correct?
Mm-hmm.
The detention center numbers were very low over the last couple of months.
Yeah, he said that it's about 50 persons in there now.
That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So that number can't be right. My estimation, instead of 13,000, I would say 1,300. They missed out a zero. Have a good day.
1,300 is wild. 1,300 is wild, and that's more than any other administration. I don't think Wayne Monroe would miss that number like that. Let's see if we can take the next one. Well, actually, let's take a quick commercial break and then get right back. Quick commercial break, guys. Going to be right back after this.
The foundation. The foundation.
The Foundation. We'll be back right after this.
The foundation. The foundation.
Great news! Ron's Electric Motors' new location on Cowpen Road, right next to Island Luck, is open Saturdays and Sundays. So for those needing repairs on electric motors, generators, welding machines, water pumps, battery chargers, electric lifts, transformers, and power tools, Ron's Cowpen Road location can have you up and running on weekends. Don't forget, you can still visit Ron's Electric Motors on Wolf Road and Claridge Road, and now Ron's new location on Cowpen Road. Dial 356-0249 or 326.
It's time to upgrade the way you enjoy at-home entertainment. Alive Fiber is here. Enjoy all your favorite channels and streaming apps, all at lightning-fast internet speeds with affordable bundles, and it's only a click away. Visit www.alivefiber.com to sign up now. Stay connected, live your life. It's good to be alive.
Nassau Cruise Port, Kalik, and Ricardo Rum presents the Made in the Bahamas Festival. Join us on Saturday, July the 19th from 3 p.m. to 12 a.m. for a cultural affair hosted by Kenny and the Mighty Pencil. Get ready for live performances by Avi, Fan Sean, Ancient Man, and more. Plus music by the best DJs. Enjoy entertainment by the Royal Bahamas Police Force Band, a Junkanoo Rush Out, giveaways, and tasty Bahamian food. So don't miss out. Drink responsibly and celebrate proudly.
Always on the go? Missed the show? You can now listen to Guardian Radio talk shows anytime, anywhere on Spotify and YouTube by searching Guardian Radio 96.9 FM or by entering the name of your favorite show. You can also listen by logging on to GuardianTalkRadio.com and clicking on the podcast tab. Guardian Radio, continuing to provide you with fresh news and smart talk anywhere, anytime, all day.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant and your company, the Foundation, live and in full effect. Give me a call. In these last few minutes, you know that we're winding down, so the call's going to be much quicker. Let's see if we can take a call. Call on the line. Go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Howard Grant.
Hey, my brother. What's up?
Yeah, I'm frightened the level of imbecility and fanaticism as it relates to politics. Number one, I'm not going to believe any figures from anybody because, like I said, the government is playing a mass game with a population of 12 million. And all they're doing is running a psychological operation and an equilibrium. You import them, you export them. I'm not going to... And so, for me, they cannot gaslight me. And they're not even intelligent enough to do that because when I look at this situation with immigration, right, somebody said, I don't want to call them, they said they demolished this amount of shanty towns. Listen, abolish. Don't demolish. You're playing with someone who has brain. Listen to me. Demolish. Abolish. Pass a shanty town act. Abolish this problem. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That one over. Stop playing delete. I mean, Howard, give me a break. Now, as to Anton, some of the things he's saying was true, but I got to disagree with him talking about the hospital being constructed out west, right? The same effort they take to build this hospital, right? They could have at least take when 50,000 or a couple $100,000 and let them buy an MRI machine for the hospital there. I don't care who the pundit is who come on and say you don't need an MRI. I'm just trying to just show you the little imbecility that blind fanaticism really, like what it leads to. You understand me, Howard?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm trying to solve these problems here. Now, I don't want to get this one in quick. You know I don't get mixed up in politics, but word on the streets is Frankie Campbell trying to come back, right? So Andon was kind of, we don't, you know, like, listen to me, man. This is what I'm hearing. So I just got this message, right? You know, he's the one with Bragg, say he had two passports, one is Asian, one's Bahamian, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but he need to stay in the lane. And he say, what he used to stay with other people's business, 1 half of the year and minding own business, but he need to still keep
6
doing
months
the
of the
same
year.
thing, that type of BS narrative on the radio.
Voice half of the year.
And as it relates, hello, Howard, please, man, listen, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
Listen to me. As it relates to the numerology with this migrant crisis, I don't hear no foolishness about repatriation when we know what's going on with the numbers. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense to me, Howard. You're still supposed to... You see, these are just psychological operations the government are running. We don't see them in the village, say, and use them. But Howard, the people need the law to be enforced. You see what I'm saying? The people need to show that they're doing something. Now that the silly season coming up, just the reason now they're coming with these numbers when we know it's the numbers game. Like we say, we know it's not me. We saw what's going. United States is paying attention to the situation at the Hilton Hotel the other day, you know.
With the 65 or 62.
Yeah, but not who had passport. Yeah, they sweep it under the rug. Yeah, so they paying attention to these things. You know, money run this place. Be no nation for sale. The nation's sold, big and bold. Give thanks. Many stories untold.
Thank you, man. I appreciate your telephone call. Let me see if I can read a couple of these texts. Most of these texts is about Anton. I don't know why. Man, I don't think that the United States repatriated 13,000 people yet. It's a text is coming through. It says, good afternoon, Howard. I know this is your show, but please stop giving Anton special privileges to keep him on if he sponsors your show, bro. No, he does it, right? He says, and others 1 minute, it don't sound good out here for real. I listen every day from Exuma. Great show, but cut Anton. 2, he ain't the prime minister, sir. This is a text coming through. It says, Anton, most of these things about you. So it says, Howard, please stop encouraging Anton in his nonsense. If the PLP is allowing the most foreigners to come in the country, of course they would be sending out the most. Planes, boats are still coming in. This is the text is coming through. It says the young man Anton is a sidewinder, right? And it says, man, Howard, I'm screaming. This man sound like he has lost his mind. Right? I think that was about minutes during when we was playing that little clip about minutes. I have one more telephone call. Call on the line was live. Go ahead.
Hello, Howard. What I really want to state is the FNM's problem to me is that they never apologized to the Bahamian people for promoting and incentivizing that so-called experimental vaccine that we still have Bahamians who have adverse effects from those vaccines who are still suffering because of a decision that the government made. And Michael Pentard was part of the FNM, and nobody said nothing to save the Bahamian people from what they're still suffering from today, which is adverse effects from those experimental vaccines. I'll hang up and listen.
I appreciate you, man. So you're saying that the Free National Movement real issue is that they haven't apologized. I think that's one of the major issues in this country where persons have an expectation for the wrong that you've done us, that there should be a public apology because you gave us a public disservice. And so there should be a public apology. We saw it with Perry Christie more specifically, and himself in a victorious position right after, right? And so I couldn't say that this was a global compliance from our government. They found themselves in cahoots with nations and this kind of a concept that says that this is the right thing to do. And they think that they did that, right? Now there's information coming to the forefront, but, like everything, our government continues to be able to sweep it under the rug. They're not being able to attach it. They're not being able to attack it or come to the forefront and being able to talk about it with clarity. They say that there are recent studies that have been done about these particular things, and these are some of the side effects that they've shown after 4 years, 5 years, 3 years, however long. And so I don't know if our government's going to talk about that. I don't know. And I don't know whether or not the FNM wants to be able to take that entire blow on their shoulders. Yeah. Well, it's been a good show today. I really do appreciate that. Like I said, I try to be able to be as diplomatic as possible when I'm talking about the productivity and the expansion of the country from those particular ends. I try to be as diplomatic as possible, not being able to offend anyone, but to talk about through the constructive criticisms about what our expectation and what the potential exists in this country. I'm hoping that I can convey that. I have conveyed that. And I'm grateful for all you guys that participated. I thank you so very kindly, man. Tomorrow is Small Business Thursday. If you want to be able to be a part of that, please give me a call, 827-0111, or give us a call, 302-2300. I still